Hey there, Gemini community. Soul Tigress here with a story for this ever so patient, wonderful community. Now, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. They are up a street and they are doing a lot of work up there. But this is the only time that I can get this done at this moment and foresee it getting uploaded tonight, just in time for Gemini. I would actually like to upload it a whole lot sooner. But enough about that. Let's talk about the vibe. So, of course, I don't know what's happening, what's going to happen. But what I'm picking up is Gemini's trying to bring peace to a situation that is not seen eye to eye. So, Gemini's probably trying to play referee or something. And right now, this is very draining for the Gemini in this story. Like running drills, they feel like, oh, somebody is having something happen over here. Gotta rush off real quick. Gotta get sprinting. Gotta get over there. And then there's something foreign. I don't know what that is, but there is something foreign. Maybe Gemini is feeling foreign with their environment, or something foreign is going to come in. I have no idea. This has been highlighted to me as one of the first things coming in for the Gemini community. I'm feeling back pain. And it's bilateral pain, means it's on both sides. And it's kind of in the area where the kidneys are. So for the Gemini in this story, please, please, please be drinking your water. Drink your water, give yourself those water breaks, and give yourself permission to use the restroom. Sometimes we get stuck at work thinking that the less we drink, the less we have to use the restroom. But what ends up happening is we end up accumulating more stuff in our kidneys that way. And being able to go out and drain those kidneys normally or on a routine basis really helps. Again, this is not medical advice. This is just my opinion, but go ahead and do your research about some kidney health. Also, I would suggest probably backing off the salt. Salt is a water retainer, but if there's already some kind of thing going on, salt can definitely increase symptoms. Okay, so take care of yourself. Just because you are running drills for this situation or that situation over there doesn't mean that you're not allowed to take care of yourself. You are allowed to have bathroom breaks. I repeat that because sometimes we get employers that make us feel like we're not. So you are allowed to have bathroom breaks. Let's keep moving forward. So after, that bilateral back pain that's happening, both sides right here, there is definitely a toothache. And what I picked up is this is all stress induced. So if you find out that you're rushing off, you're dealing with a lot of tension, a lot of friction between this situation, whatever they're dealing with, and you find yourself gritting your teeth, you find yourself not able to take care of yourself. Well, this is why you're feeling so drained, so irritable. And what I got after that? Gemini, who loves to travel. Take a little car trip, a little detour. Put on your favorite music, put those windows down, and have you a little concert in your vehicle with yourself. Let it out. Just let it out. Sing it out. It's good medicine right there. Good medicine. Give yourself that permission to release a little bit of the tension in a creative way. It could be singing or it could be something else. It's all up to you, but right now I see somebody just rolling their windows down, putting on their favorite music, turning it up as loud as they can, and singing away. And just being able to just lift a little bit of what's on their shoulders off for a moment. All right, so on the other side of things, besides when you're dealing with this situation, make sure that the Gemini in this story is dotting your I's and crossing your T's. And it's going to come at the expense of not slow movement, but making sure to take your time. Whatever it is, the other thing that you're working on when you don't have to deal with that conflict and trying to keep the peace, just making sure that you are handling it with gentleness. I see like white gloves, just making sure to be very diligent with it. And I feel like this is important. So don't let whoever else's little drama friction throw you off of your game. Yeah, because there could be a oops. You definitely, or if you're running into oopses, that just happens when you're not able to fully focus on something because you're too busy thinking, oh man, how are these two doing over here? Or how's the situation doing over here? So just remember to take your time with whatever you're working towards for you. And there's a closed mind about something. I don't know what it is. It's whatever you've been kind of thinking on or not thinking on. You just kind of shut the door to, and it's just like, I'm not even going to deal with it. It's just, it is the way it is. That one's interesting. Again, not sure. But let's go ahead and get started. Thank you, Geminis, for your patience. All right, so I got the Moonology here. What is it that needs to come out for the Gemini community? Something that we don't see. Nothing will come of this situation. And before that, I was told to talk about the self-sacrificing. Self-sacrificing is what we will do a lot of times, thinking that something will change. So whatever you see that you're self-sacrificing on for others, take a step back. Take a step back. Sometimes people will get us into a position, and this is a story for the Leo's mythology, and I'm mentioning this because Leo was the new moon. All right, doing a new take on some stuff. And one of the mythology stories is that Leo fell in love with a particular woodsman's daughter, and the woodsman was like, yo, you got teeth, you got claws, how am I going to know that you're not going to eat my daughter? So Leo's, okay, I'll get rid of this stuff. As soon as Leo got rid of that stuff, the woodsman chased the Leo off. The Leo never got to marry their love. What happened was Leo was willing to sacrifice so much, even to where they were vulnerable, and they still got chased off. Be careful on what you're sacrificing with. Be careful on how much self-sacrificing you're doing to yourself. Because running around, taking care of everyone else and leaving yourself out, how are you going to last? How are you going to last? How are you going to be able to do it tomorrow or 5 years from now? Balance spirituality and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. And this came in reverse. So nothing will come of this situation, something you don't see. And you're not balanced, dealing with it. Not balanced. You could be even starting to get on odds ends with yourself, getting upset with yourself because you have to say stop and take care of yourself or do something for yourself, and it takes away from time from doing something else. Surrender to the divine. That's another full moon. How did you get yourself in this pickle? You keep asking yourself, why am I in this situation to begin with? That's what you're saying there. Here it is. Show the world the real you. That's why you're in this pickle. You're in this pickle because you asked for something. Whatever this something has to do with those dotting the I's and crossing the T's, or that's the steps to get there. And this plays into the full moon. And guess what? You are a fellow air sign, or air sign Aquarius is what the full moon's going to be in. Aquarius is 11th house, social aspirations and ideals, reform. Aquarius is I know. Aquarius brings a lot of change. A lot of change. Wow. That was a bird that just ran into the window. So what's going to happen is, what I take from that is you're running into stuff and it's in plain sight, but you still keep running into it for some reason. And you're running into it because you're not showing what you really want, what you really want to work towards when you go off running these drills for this situation. And the Aquarius new moon, not new moon, full moon, brings out that, hey, in order to get through this self-sacrificing, in order to really get into that 5th house of externalization of ourselves, what we're vibrating on the inside is what we vibrate on the outside. So in order to get through all of that and to get to your ideal, to get to where you're going, to make sure you have the time to focus on it, is you got to show the world the real you. And what I'm seeing is you got to get fixed in some things. Feel really authentic about the things that you're getting fixed in. If they want you to run up and jump up for them, no, I can't. I got to take care of myself. I'm actually going to take my lunch break today. That's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to give myself permission to use the restroom a few times during my 10-hour shift, my 8-hour shift that's always on my feet. Because when you start taking care of yourself, that's the more you can surrender to the divine. That's when you feel like, too, like you're loved. I'm not going to lie. And the divine is you. You are the divine. How can you divinely, authentically love yourself and take care of yourself? That's the biggest thing that I have right here. Have faith in your dreams. Is it still staying authentic to where you're going? Then what do I have here? A time for healing. I feel like guilt is tied to this. Whatever the situation has you running drills about, guilt is tied to it. All right, I'm going to ask for one more card. They want the lucky 7s. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. What this is saying is you're going to find a balance in how you're going to relate to people. Romantic cycle. For me, that's intimate. How we intimately can relate to people, and it doesn't have to be so romantic, or even like a new partnership. If it is in a relationship, when you start taking care of yourself, you're not going to be so irritable to where you're like expecting a partner to read your mind, or you're coming in and you're already worn out, burnt out from the job, and you don't want to do anything. You don't even want to be social at home or something. That's because you've been run ragged. Whatever the situation is that got you going back and forth and running these drills and took all your energy out of you, that you don't even have time to enjoy those finer things that you worked for. Whether it's at home, whether it's at work, whether it's with a hobby, again, person, place, or thing. So let's take a dive into the present. What is it that wants to come out? What is it? I feel like there's a searching, but it's hard for Gemini to see because their mind is just going. For Libra, they were 1,000 miles per hour. Gemini's like times 10 that right now. They're just trying so hard. So let's take a dive into the present. What is it that wants to come out? Angels, ancestors, spirit guides. What is it? It's a lot. So the only thing that you're really certain of is that your strength. Everything is pulling at your strength. That's kind of like the one thing you're certain of. Well, what is it? Trying to bring justice. trying to bring the justice to the conflict, to things that have not been truthful. Things that, and what I mean by truthful, things that haven't been sincere. And I think it has to do with stability. I'm going to be led to the root chakra here. I have this Taurus sign here. So in Taurus is I have, maybe at this point, this Gemini is in conflict with the things that they have. Maybe in one area, because they're so relied on, they feel important. They feel needed. But in the other area, they're so needed and they're so important to solving all this other dilemmas running these drills that it's literally taking from them. On the flip side, they tell themselves, but I'm needed. I'm needed. Who else is going to do this? Shouldering others' burdens. That's what I just heard. And I'm getting a big A, so ancestor is saying that. It's things on top of things on top of things. You've seen how this is happening with the cards today. So what I have is, this wasn't the way you really wanted. And it's really starting to upset you. It really is. You could be like blowing your top in a sense. Blowing your top in a sense. And then I have the High Priestess in reverse. This is very draining. This is very straining, whatever the situation is. I feel like it takes a lot. It takes a lot of Gemini's vitality. Gemini could be feeling more anxieties when they're around this situation. This situation, for some reason, is feeding the insecurity. And Gemini doesn't see it because Gemini is running like, they need me though. They need me. They're not going to be able to do this. There's some kind of fear tied to it. And when Gemini's alone, there's restlessness about it. When they think about it at night, when they think about it, I'm not getting just at night. It's just kind of like always there. Can't even focus on things. Again, remember, taking your time to take care of the stuff that you need to take care of for you. All right, here we go. That Five of Swords lands on a time for healing. To get that strength, you really got to get up and look at how you are always coming in for them. Always picking up their pieces. Always trying to deliver. Deliver for yourself like that. If you're going to stand up for yourself like that. And then I have the Emperor. And the Emperor says contemplation. Contemplation. And I have a rabbit there. A lot of rabbit energy represents to me socialness, social settings. And there's a lot of contemplation about the things in this person's kingdom. How they socialize with others or how others socialize with them. This, again, has to do with this particular situation that they keep running off for. I want a clarity card. Why are they upside down with the Two of Staves? Why do they feel like they're not coming in? Maybe that has to do with a lot of anxiety. Oh, did y'all hear that? That was cool. I think that is a confirmation. All right. Two of Staves. Yeah, things are stacked up. It has to do with a lot of things that are stacked up. Look at the Two of Wands in upright. To clarify, the Two of Staves, which is Two of Wands in reverse. So I've seen my world. I've held my world. And so far, this is the view I got. I'm just going to keep dealing with these arrogant, swift-taking, throat-cutting type of energies. Those quick tongues, quick to swoop me up and have to take me off in a direction I'm not really ready to go. But I don't understand that every time I answer, every time I go off for them, I'm blocked. I'm blocking myself. I'm putting on a blindfold, and I am no longer moving in the direction that I really want to move in. That's that truth. That's that show the world the real you. That's having faith in what you're going for. That's that balancing spirituality and practicality and that big confirmation. Nothing's going to come of this if you keep running drills for them. That's what that is. Let's go ahead and move to the block. Move to the block. What is it that needs to come out for the block for the Gemini community? What is it? Two of Swords in reverse. And it lands on that new moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle beginning, that new balance. New balance at home, new balance with however you're dealing with things on an intimate level. But it's not intimate like relationships intimate. It's how we hold certain things close to us. And it's unblocking. It's unblocking that view. So this situation, somehow Gemini's intimate with it. And right now I'm getting that this is kind of like the view of how intimacy happens. Something they don't see. 8 of Pentacles. They don't see that the way that this was built, it wasn't organic. It wasn't organic. It was a lot of toxins. A lot of toxins in the environment. Even though you was told it looked good, it was all for that good purpose, that coin, that stability. That's what they was telling you. But look at all that smog in the air. Look at how kind of this is dark and depicting not the most clean kind of thing that's happening. Not the most nurturing kind of things grown in like a nurturing environment. What they do is they go in and they mine for something and they rip the land of nutrients. They rip the land of a lot of things. And right now Gemini has been in a situation for the longest time that it feels like that they're mining all of Gemini's gold light there. They've been, and that's just like what Gemini was told, that this is just the way things are. You're here because you're needed, because you're this person that can do it all. You can do the position of like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 others. Oh, that's too much. Or maybe you come in like 5 people strong. You know how they have a certain amount of horsepower, where you come in with this certain kind of Gemini man, woman, they, them kind of power. That's because they know how strong you are and they're capitalizing on it. Oh, but again, this is just the way it's been. What else needs to come out for the block for the Gemini community? Gemini, how long do you want to be on your knee for somebody else's plan? For somebody else's dream? Because this is what they're saying. This conflict comes out because you keep getting on your knee for somebody else's way. Somebody else who's blowing smoke. And it comes down to really feeling what Gemini wants. It starts internal. What is that wish-fulfilling dream? That star outcome that Gemini has been like oozing over since they were younger. Since they were younger. What is their authentic dream? What is their authentic way of going? How can we bring that back inside and have Gemini believe that again? Have them believe that their dream is them rising up. And they may not even become that person that blows smoke. They're going to do something different. They're going to do something even more. what I'm hearing is Gemini is a visionary, and they need to see that vision. What they also need to see is how this person's been running plays on you, having you do whatever they want you to do. And it has to do with this energy. And I'm going to read this type of energy. It conceals their emotions. So yes, emotionless. A very intelligent but dangerous. Cruel and self-centered. Plots against you. So for this Gemini, every time you have a success, they're right there to say, meh. Quick to throw shade on it. Sadistic and manipulative. Enjoys causing suffering and troubles. Looks out for their own interests. Watch out for what they do. And look at the card that it lands. Let me show you that. Look at that. That's this person right up here. This is a Gemini. You remember, because Gemini is running so many positions for this person. This is all Gemini doing tricks for them. And they're like, here, yep, that's the way. That's the way it is, Gemini. That's the way this environment is. This is confirming it. So I'm told to speak about stuff. When you get stuck in these situations and you have things that have happened for so long, it's hard to think of anything else being any different. And that's where this is at. The boat has sailed. Gemini has been put on their boat, and they're over there on that person's charade. So how do I get out of the charade? One step at a time. One boundary at a time. What else needs to come out for the block? What else needs to come out for the block for the Gemini community? I don't want to lose certain things. I don't want to lose certain partnerships. I have a Two of Cups. Certain things that, I thought was something different. I've always kind of had the hope it would be something more fulfilling. I always kind of had the hope that we'd be able to do our dance. That we would be able, to withstand the heat from all the different variables in life. Be able to overcome stuff together. But this person, it all lands here. This person's right there. This person doesn't see that. This person doesn't see that. On the flip side, this person only sees, what I maybe want to give you, or this one to me would be actually a string. What I can make you do so that you give me. Because remember, this type of environment's happening. Wow. It's a lot. How can you let go of energies, that you've seen something more with, or you always want to see something more with? That's a hard one. You got to figure out how much you love yourself. You really do. You love somebody so much that you've ran drills for them, but this person wouldn't do the same for you. So it comes down to, how much do you love yourself? How much are you willing to let yourself love yourself? That's what it comes down to. And when you finally say, no, I'm putting myself first, that's when things change. And you get a lot of pushback. You will get a lot of pushback from this person. And they will do everything and anything to trigger this Gemini to put them back. But that's where you got to be that authentic self. That's where this full moon and this new moon are playing into it. Because there was something here that Gemini, you asked at one time not to deal with the situation or how to get past the situation. You asked it and it's been heard. But just like with anything in life, you got to work for it. If you grow a business, you got to work for it. If you're trying to step out into the workforce and trying to find a new way of going, you got to work for it. If you're trying to overcome ancestral cycles, bad karmic cycles, you got to work for it. If you're trying to set an example that's going to be different from others, you got to work for it. You got to work for it. And when you start doing this, you start leading the example for others. What is that example you want to lead for others? Because at this point, you're showing the example that you run drills. You run drills, and that's because they said that's the way it has to be, because you are this awesome, amazing person, and they're going to capitalize on it. So getting down, checking with yourself, going between what you've learned and the way you want to go. That's what's going to help balance that spirituality and practicality, and having that faith in your authentic self that you do deserve something better. Whatever you ask for, you deserve it. So I have a bonus oracle, and this one wants to come in to clarify this block, what this block needs in a in-depth look when it comes to love, when it comes to surrender, when it comes to aligning with faith, compassion, and your path, your destiny on your path. What is it that needs to come out? All right, and I'm hearing 3 cards, so 2. Oh, you guys got 4. So 4, we'll go for 4, 4, 4. Do not worry. What you are working towards will be successful. Right there. Right there. So, first one to come out, it lands on a time for healing. When I lean towards love, I am led. You run in drills for this situation because you're trying to fulfill something that you wished was fulfilled within you. That's a hard one. That is a hard one to take. But put all that time and energy into yourself and loving yourself. Watch things start to flip for you. And what it has to do with being able to drop those boundaries on this upside down situation that has you on your knee while they're blowing smoke. I choose love, no matter what. When you drop that boundary and they're trying to make you question it, make you feel a certain type of way, trigger you something, choose love. Choose love. You can sit here and disarm anybody with love. You leave with a peaceful word saying, you know what, this is what I got to do for me because I love myself, and you walk out the door. Walk out the door. You don't have to go down to their level. So, something that's really going to help flip stuff too is energy flows where my intentions go. Don't go tit for tat with this fool, with this situation. Don't. Put your intentions to your dreams. Put your intentions to your fate. Put your intentions to your goals. Because right now, this person is like the hamburglar. They going in and they're taking your focus. They're taking your burgers. Literally. Don't let them have your focus. Don't let them have your time and energy when you don't even have to deal with them. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Once you become comfortable, genuine, and have this deep love for yourself, you walk in confidence with your authentic self. And nobody can rock your boat at that time. Because why? You could spot the devil a mile away in somebody. Or you could just spot their intentions. You'll feel it, you'll see, and you know that that's not yours. So you won't own it. And a lot of times when we get in cahoots with people, trying to take care of people, filling that void that we are needed by dealing with low frequency people, we definitely, it's hard to step back. It is hard to step back and stop that self-sacrifice. We have so much stuff tied to it, it could be even guilt. But you shouldn't feel guilty for wanting to take care of yourself. And whoever you're dealing with shouldn't make you feel guilty for wanting to take care of yourself. I seen this beautiful thing. It was on IG. And it was a new way of looking at relationships. And the one thing that this person said is for their partner, you know, the partner says, I'm going to take care of me so that I'm good. You take care of you so that you're good. So that when we come together, we're already taken care of, mofos. We don't have these pieces missing, so that we're not attaching to somebody thinking that they're going to fulfill us. We're attaching to people. We're hanging out with people. We're aligning with these jobs because they are birds of a feather. They're not going to have us running drills. They don't need somebody to run drills like that. They're not over here trying to act a fool. So, angels of protection, divine and universal energy. What is it specifically that can help out the block for the Gemini community? What is it? Impatience. Impatience. You've been patient enough when it comes to them. But remember, when it comes to you, you got to practice patience. Maybe it's when your guides sit here and say, okay, you've listened to this person for 5 minutes, talk about the same thing over and over. It's time for you to go, instead of you saying, and sitting there for another 10 minutes just to where they're suffering. And with the throat chakra, that's expression, that's creativity, that's clear communication, confidence in speaking. When you feel this person and you're having to deal with this person and they're triggering that fear of speaking up, they're making you feel shy, they're making you feel like you have social anxieties, that's when you got to buck up. You got to sit there and, as they say it with your chest, what you're feeling, what that boundary is, and drawing it in. Because that's what's going to give you that coin. That's what's going to get you to where you really want to be. All right. Yeah. Guilt. Getting over the guilt of somebody else doing it to themselves. It's not your responsibility. It's not. Finding the joy in what you're doing. Aligning with those passions. If those passions are to keep you, doing good, then do it. This is going to help with those healthy relationships. That's going to help you align with that creativity, whichever way you're going for your goals. Don't forget that you got to let the guilt go. You gotta let the guilt go. And that guilt, what I'm hearing is it could be ancestral tie. That ancestral tie could be because of a karmic cycle that has happened in the ages of the family. And what I'm getting is a number 3. Look back at your generation, another generation, and the generation before it. Listen to what they say. Do they operate in a lot of guilt? Do they do things because of a lot of guilt? Think about that. Because I mentioned 3, we're going to go 3, 3, 3. Keep faith. Seek guidance from your guides. A lot of people don't realize the people are in our lives. We do shoulder their burdens. We do shoulder their stress. Gossip. Gossip. Maybe there's a Gemini that's afraid. What's going to happen when I put up these boundaries? What are they going to say about me? What is the bitterness that I'm going to receive? Who's going to be holding grudges? Who's going to have a lack of empathy for me? Who's going to say that I'm being self-centered? Who's going to say that? Look at, don't care about them. Well, I even throw it further. Don't care about them. They're not there to help you heal. They're not there. If they were really there, they would understand. Don't worry whatever they say to try and make you feel guilty still. Try and keep you in line. Meh. All right. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. There could have been a point in this Gemini's life where they didn't feel like they had the right to some choices, that they had to go along for the ride, and they wish that ride would have been different. What happens is there could be some nightmares around this. There could be, when they start really getting in the sauce with this kind of stuff, there could be low concentration, lack of insight, poor imagination. But when you start issuing that forgiveness, that third eye, that intuition, it's going to peak up. And what you're going to notice is that your intuition, your clarity, your insight, your imagination, what you could see is all the moves that you've made now were in response. Were in response to the choices that you felt like you didn't have at a certain time. That's why you're doing what you're doing. That is because for some reason, whatever this guilt is tied to, again, it's feeling like you don't have a choice. But there are choices here. Everyone has a right to their free will. Now, is everyone gonna react like, oh, Gemini did their free will? Oh my God, thank goodness, Gemini. No. Some people are gonna be very mad when you exercise that free will. But you know what happens? You know what happens with those? You're just like, let me take your burdens off of my shoulders. Alright, so let's go ahead and go for two more cards. Two more cards for the Gemini community. What is it? Enlightenment. Enlightenment. This is what this journey is about. It's getting closer to yourself. Because that's that sacral chakra. That's, again, coming into your personal power. That's having that confidence, that joy of who you are, how you walk, how you come in, how you even have your car concerts, you know? It's helping you keep that motivation, but also keeping that discipline. Because when we are overstressed out with a certain thing, we will start to use coping mechanisms. That's where addictions can come to. And addictions are not just drug addictions. Addictions can come in many different forms. It's what a person runs to escape out of things. And the whole thing is, this right here is trying to teach you how not to do the same thing over and over. What has been done. Lead the new example. Putting the end to a cycle. All right, one more card. Ooh, it's gonna be a good one. This one more card. Here it is. To clean up the confusion, and this is going to be that crown chakra, that disconnection, that lack of purpose, maybe even feeling really down where your moods could be, say, high at one point, and then bam, it bottoms out when we don't have something there to kind of help ease our mind or distract us from what's going on. We got to ease up that confusion. We got to be really truthful. Really truthful. If what you're dealing with isn't the stability that you really want, then it's always coming in really sharp, always wanting you to feel the pain. Never really wanting you to see fully healed. You gotta be truthful and how this situation has had your view a little bit upside down on things. Wants to keep your view upside down on things. To keep you blocked. To keep you blocking yourself. Gotta release it. You gotta have confidence when you take those moves for yourself. I will personally say I lost a lot of people when I chose myself and loving me. And the people I lost, the people I let go, I mean, nobody's an enemy. This isn't saying that you have to make enemies with people. No, this is merely just saying I'm going to elevate myself and walk in a new light. If y'all want to stay in that shadowy place, then y'all choose to stay in that shadowy place. If you want to let go of that guilt, let go of that guilt. If you want to go authentically in the route that you want to go, do it. You have that right to live out your destiny. Now I was down a rabbit hole, and it was talking about how people will try and steal other people's destiny. And I actually was talking to my daughter about this. You have to be careful with situations that want to keep you. Keep you always doing what they want you to do. It could be because that situation, again, knows how much they can get from you. But if they keep you in the same position, running these same plays, then you never got to go and get drafted to doing something else. You never got to pick up and fully get to your dream. And this does happen. It happens in families where certain expectations, like you're supposed to follow in certain footstep kind of things. It can happen at work where they don't want you to move on. They don't want you to find a better company because you're too busy running their drills. It happens in family. If you're over here doing so much for somebody, it happens with friends. Doing so much for these people, and you're starting to rise up. You're starting to believe in yourself. You're starting to see the toxic environment for what it is. You're going to take your light from them? Oh, of course they're going to say anything and everything so you don't go. That's still in your destiny. That is still in your destiny. Again, oh well to this person that you're going to upset. Oh well, goodbye. Bye, Felicia. Bye. You wasn't anything anyways. You was just coming over here to beg for stuff to get to attention. Then when I tell you bye, you still can't go and you still come back? Like, no. Gemini in this story, have that faith. You're worth it. Your dreams are worth it. You are meant to go towards the dreams. Don't forget that. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your energy, and this frequency with me, and being the ones to practice so much patience with coming in the cycle of being last. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and just know I truly appreciate your patience. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.